everybody. Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder, for today. Anyway, this is the show where we talk about sports with comics and we get the whole show started and everything else. Let's get ready to jump this thing off. First up is my man, Fig. Fig, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, man, it's happy to be here on a Monday.
Yeah, me too. We're waiting for talent and a couple other people to jump in, man. And you know how this is. First of all, man, how was your weekend? How's everything good?
Man, listen, I've been moving all weekend long, man. So you know what it's been like for me.
Yeah, back problems. But your back hurt? You hurt your back hurt?
No, my back is good.
That's me when it comes to back pain.
I learned to lift with my legs.
Yeah, there you go. Also, bring my man Talent. Talent just popped up there. Talent, how you doing today, sir? How's everything, bro?
Hey, man, what's up, fellas? How we living, baby?
We doing this. What we do. It's what we do. All right, so we had a huge weekend in sports, man. You know, a lot of upsets happened. A lot of things happened. You know, the World Series obviously, uncovered who was going to go in the World Series. But something happened I saw this morning that y'all didn't tell me about, man. I don't know why y'all didn't reach out to y'all texted about everything else, man. And I don't know why y'all didn't text me about this. So I'm gonna start out the vaccine report with this, man. We always do a COVID report. I don't know why Talented Fig did not tell me this, but it looked like there was some anti-vaccine protesters in front of the Barclays Center that was trying to lock it down because they were protesting for Kyrie Irving, and it ended up turning ugly, and it got ugly real fast. And then, of course, this morning, literally about 15 minutes before we jump on the air, man, I just heard that Matt Nagy tested positive for COVID-19 too. So I'm gonna start with you, Talent Man, and talk to me. Tell me what the hell is going on in New York with these protesters about Kyrie Irving, bro. Like, talk to me.
Well, first of all, I just found out yesterday myself. That's why, it didn't get big till the weekend, Frank, and we went off air Friday. So the numbers got crazy over the weekend. And then yesterday, somebody came and told me about it going down at the Barclays. And now I didn't know that it was specifically wrapped around the whole Kyrie thing. I knew it was the vaccine thing. And I think what's happening is we might be looking at something even bigger, because I think people that have to go and frequent New York City limits, like the 5 boroughs, everybody don't like that, the mandate of you have to be vaccinated to get into a restaurant or an event space or a gym. And I think that's taking a little steamroll in here. I think we're going to see it maybe get bigger in the next week or so.
So it looked like it's ongoing then, right? It looked like
it's bigger than just Kyrie. Kyrie, I think they're using that as a focal point because it's big news. Big sports news. You got the Barclays, the games are going on. So they know that people are going to be there and a lot of press. So it may start there, but it may go into a bigger thing like, the governor or the mayor got to, change that mandate. It is, I think it's a little, I don't agree with the mandate myself. I think that that's a little infringing on people, especially a big city with 10 million people.
Right. So Fig, they were using Kyrie Irving's name when they were chanting and everything else. That's how everything, according to the report that I saw, they used Kyrie Irving's name. So talk to me, what you think?
Well, I think that we got it wrong here on the Box Seats. Those were actual Trump supporters. And they're just using Kyrie Irving's name. They were going to storm the Barclays Center, and Trump on his new social media platform sent him all the message and told him just chant Kyrie Irving and to stand down, and they'll reconvene at a later date.
The Proud Boys.
Man, I don't know. It's crazy, man. Listen, it is what it is. Kyrie's protested for one reason. They protested for another reason. They protested because they lost their what they would consider their rights and their freedom, and Kyrie Irving never had any because his skin is brown.
There you go.
All right, I'm not gonna go there, but I see what you're saying. I'm
not gonna go there.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying. I'm not. Let me stop stuttering and keep the show moving. All right, man. So Matt Nagy tested positive, man, and let's be honest, man. The Bears, they got shellacked yesterday, man. We're gonna jump into the show. The Bears got shellacked. They lost to Tampa Bay. I heard a whole bunch of things this morning, Talent, man. It's despicable the way it was happening to Justin Fields, man. I was Justin Fields fan, and then I started finding out this morning that a lot of the mistakes that they made was all on coaching and everything else. So I don't know what the hell's going on in Chicago, man. I really want to start with that. There's a lot of teams, but what's your take, man, on the Justin Fields issues that's happening out in Chicago, especially after they got waxed by Tom Brady and them yesterday? Man,
well, the reason I would agree with it being coaching is because coaching translates down the pipeline a certain energy. So even if you're losing, the mentality of the coaching, if it's a strong defensive coach or whatever, that mentality engulfs the team. What I did not see, the reason why I think it's coaching is every time the camera hit the sideline and they getting their ass waxed, they're over there laughing and smiling and happy. And I'm like, that coaching energy is way out of place. Like, if you watch a team like the Giants, when they losing, that camera hit the sideline, you're looking at grown men look like they about to get an ass whooping later. Mm-hmm. But when the camera hit the sideline of Chicago, everybody's over there like this and smiling. And there's another point and another point and another point. And I'm like, they don't care. The first thing that coaching does when it comes to a losing team is the first thing. Before we can win, we got to care about winning. You got to care about getting your ass handed to you on the field. And then you slowly start to get some wins. You put some pieces together, you execute some plays, and you get wins. That's the only reason I would point the finger at coaching over there.
Well, Matt Nagy tested positive, so he's doing his press conference right now from his car. Like normally he would be doing anything. I'm looking at it on TV right now. He's doing it from his car on his cell phone, which is crazy. I don't even know who Chicago's playing this week. I got to look it up. But Fig, Matt Nagy, who is the coach, obviously, for Chicago Bears, it's got to affect the Bears even now, as the team is falling apart. I think they're 3-3, too. So what's your take on this? What's your take on this, Fig?
Well, Matt Nagy is doing a press conference from his car because his wife won't let him in the house. That's right. And then sabotaging this young quarterback, Justin Fields. This kid is talented. He's a phenom. They sabotaged him, man. They told him, like, yo, man, you got a free play. They got 12 guys on the field, and it was only 11. I was like, yo, it's straight sabotage, man. If I was Justin Fields, man, I wouldn't listen to him, man. I'd take that little earpiece out of my ear, man. And here's the thing, man. Look, this kid is talented. He's gifted and whatever. And if he doesn't have the requisite pieces around him, he's not going to be able to win. He's a rookie quarterback on a bad team. So how good can you look? You can't look that good. You're the Chicago Bears. They wasn't doing good when they had a veteran quarterback in there. Ooh. So what is a rookie going to do? And you still got this dude, Nagy. Maybe the reason that he was telling them that there were 12 men on the field is maybe it was COVID related. You know what I mean? Because he's horrible.
All right.
And they play San Fran this week.
Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, they're in trouble. Well, San Francisco got their own issues this week, too, so we're going to talk about that in a bit. But I got to talk about y'all's Jets, man, because Zach Wilson, he got hurt yesterday. He's out 2 to 4 weeks. They got 54 points pointing them and everything else. Man, my thing is this. I've been saying it since before they even drafted Zach Wilson. I was saying they should have kept your boy. But is everything coming to a head now in New York? You guys are in New York, especially you, Town. You're in New York, man. Are they calling for the Jets head right now? The head coach head right now. What's going on, man? What's your thoughts on the Jets loss yesterday and Zach Wilson being out for 4 weeks? 2 to 4 weeks, man. What's your thoughts?
I don't think they're calling for heads just yet because you have to expect something before you started going head hunting. You know what I mean? Like if I hire you and you come in like the Phil Jackson thing, you're expecting something. So when it ain't happening, you're like, yo, it's time to go. We need off with his head. But if you're still, I think the Jets are still in that mind frame of piecing it together. They didn't even have to move on from Bowles. You could have stayed with Bowles if you're going to be rebuilding and piecing things together. So I don't think they're calling for his head just yet because of that reason. But Miss soon come. And my Jamaican friend said, Miss soon come.
Greg, what's your take on this, man? How's it looking like right now for the Jets?
Man, the Jets has been made. Look, first off, I'm a New Yorker. I'm New York everything first. They used to losing, man. It ain't even no big deal, man. I mean, look, what they do last year? They lost. What they do the year before that? They lost. I mean, the Jets haven't been that great a team in a while, man. The Giants, it's like the only team that seems to be moving forward with any degree of progress in our city right now is the New York Knicks. Oh, and if you count the Brooklyn Nets, and they're not even doing so good right now because probably this whole thing around Kyrie Irving, the protests and stuff like that. It just like it's a bad scene for sports in New York City, man. But the biggest problem they have is when they got rid of is when they got rid of Sam Donald and they didn't put the pieces around him. You can't win in this league without playmakers. And I can't name one playmaker on the Jets. They don't have any. They don't have any playmakers. I don't care who's your quarterback. If you don't have an offensive line and playmakers, you're going to lose. Period.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue they did is when they traded Sam Darnold, I think they should have built around him because they already had a QB. You know what I mean? I think they already had him. They shouldn't have traded. But you know, what do we know, man? We're sitting on our couch, you know, we're trying to talk about football. What do we know? But the next big thing, to me, this is the next thing, man. It's the most shockingest game I saw over the weekend. Now, I saw a lot of games over the weekend. I was flipping back and forth and everything else. But when Cincinnati went in this weekend and they beat Baltimore in Baltimore talent, I ain't going to lie. If I had some money, I'd have lost my shirt on that one.
I did.
Oh, okay. I lost my shirt on that because I going in.
Talent really lost his shirt. Do you notice that he don't have one any comedy paraphernalia?
No, I lost. You know what's crazy? The week before I won 1,200. I gave half of that right back because of that Ravens game. I could not believe that they went in there and taught him a new ass like that. I was like, yo, you got to be kidding me. So I had my money on them, just like you, Frank. That was the surpriser, I think, of yesterday's games the most. Like that really did me in because that was a sure bet for me. And I don't know if we take it right now and say, well, Cincinnati's that dope, or Ravens had a bad Sunday. I don't know.
Well, I'll say this. I think we all overlooked Cincinnati. Cincinnati they both 5-2 going in. We all overlooked Cincinnati, and maybe because it's Cincinnati. But Fig, I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't think we should overlook Cincinnati anymore, man. They went into Baltimore and basically beat those dudes up. They were physical. They punched them up and down. They scored on them at will. Literally, they were toying with those boys, man. It didn't even look like it. It looked like Baltimore had the Cincinnati Bengals uniform and vice versa. That's what it looked like to me. But what you think, Fig? What's your take on that?
Well, I know we've been saying, Frank, you haven't been here for a while. I know you've been listening. Baltimore has about 16 starters on the injured list. And I think it just caught up with them yesterday. Because at the end of the day, like I just said, talking about the Jets, you need playmakers in order to win games. Lamar Jackson is pretty much the playmaker on the Baltimore Ravens. He ran for more yards than all of his running backs.
Right.
And there were no real big plays on defense. I mean, this kid is out there carrying the entire roster, if you will. I hate to say that, but I mean, he is like the only playmaker on the team right now because, like I said, on both sides of the ball, on the defense and the offense, I don't know what the exact ratio is, but I know they have 16 players that are missing on both sides of the ball. And Cincinnati was able to take advantage of that yesterday. A lesser team probably would not have been able to. So since Cincinnati has the record, they have this quarterback in Burrow, I'd say they pretty much for real right now. They look like it.
But the thing is, like I said, the thing is even though Cincinnati, you know, was close to full strength and Baltimore had a lot of injuries, I don't think anybody still expected Cincinnati to go in there and beat Baltimore and Baltimore even with those injuries.
Yeah.
I don't think I know I didn't. So
not in Baltimore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not in Baltimore. Maybe in Cincinnati, I'd have been like, it might have been a big of a chance, 50-50. But going into Baltimore, especially after the week before, like when Lamar Jackson was doing what he was doing, like, nah, I didn't see that coming, bro. I didn't see that coming. And speaking of seeing things coming, man, last night, you know, the 49ers lost to the Colts. So I'm gonna ask you this, Talent. The way people are talking about the Colts right now and everything else, Shanahan's been asked about Jimmy G. His response to Jimmy Garoppolo's immediate future was, I would guess so, whether or not he's going to stick and start and everything else, because now everybody in San Francisco is like, the way he's playing, as sloppily as he's playing right now, the 49ers are unraveling as we speak. So people now are calling for Jimmy G to be traded and Jimmy G to be put on the bench. Let Trey Lance start. You know, everything's going up in the air with them. What do you think is going on, and what do you think Shanahan should do with Jimmy G right now? What's your take?
Well, I think San Fran got a lot of problems right now, not just Jimmy G. Fig just mentioned about the last team with injuries. They last week was up to 12 on IR, and this week I think even a couple more. And remember, Jimmy G just came off a slight little injury, so he's going to be hobbling his way back. You get again expectations, man. They need to match your actions. So to be worried about Jimmy G right now, knowing he's like 1 week or week and a half back from the little tweak he had, you got to give him some time. He's not going to come back in and ta-da, he's the super quarterback. I think you give Jimmy G time. I'm the one that said at the beginning of the season, if you can keep a healthy Jimmy G, you always got a shot. Let the man get back into his rhythm. If he can stay healthy, you got something good going. But I don't think right now you jump the gun and try to do some big major changes. You got a lot more on your plate to worry about fixing.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that one. Fig, what's your take about San Fran with Jimmy G, man? You think they should get ready to put him on the bench? Because Shanahan doesn't even sound like a coach who's even sticking with him, man, and giving him, the confidence that he's going to be the coach for next week, man. And I don't like hearing the coach sound. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't like to hear that, man. What's your take?
I think it's passing the buck and putting the blame on Jimmy G. Jimmy G is a decent quarterback with the pieces around him. We've already seen that. We've seen what Jimmy G can do with a healthy team. And when he's healthy, you know what I mean? When you have injuries to a team and you playing NFL football, it's difficult to win. And I don't care what, look, the fans are impulsive. You calling for a rookie quarterback to come in there and take the place of a veteran, and you think you're going to do better? I'll talk about this. We have the history of the NFL. I don't know one rookie quarterback that has come onto an NFL team and turned that team around and had that team just to win anything significant. And when I say significant, I'm talking about, get into the playoffs or whatever and stuff like that and carry the team on his shoulders. That is just not what rookie quarterbacks are able to do. It takes a while to learn the NFL game. It's a different speed. Everybody is bigger, faster, stronger, and they're smarter, and they know how to scheme for what it is that you do best. And most of the time they take that away from you and see if you have a second gun or second bullet to go to so you could be able to win. But the good teams and the good quarterbacks take away what you do best, and then let's see what else that you can do. And rookie quarterbacks don't have that ability.
Yeah, I agree with that part. But I will also throw this out there and say Jimmy G seems to be getting hurt a lot. And Fig, I think he gets hurt a lot. I think that's probably the reason why people are getting upset is because he gets hurt a lot. There's always issues with him. Ever since he got traded from the Patriots, it's all like. Honestly, I think since he's been traded in 4 years, I think he had one full season, if I can remember correctly. I can't even remember.
Right.
I'm looking.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and he's been gone for 4 years, and for 49ers, he was out for a season and a half. You know what I mean? Listen, if that's my QB and that's my team, I'm pretty upset right about now. I'm not gonna lie. You lost
that used to be your QB. That used to be your team.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad he's gone. I'm like, I did one of these. Bye-bye. But I'm glad to see him gone. But you know what, man? There was another big game that happened yesterday. Yeah, I was at the time I wanted him to stay, but man, now that I see how injury prone he is, I'm like, man, I'm glad we ain't dealing with that. But yesterday, man, speaking of injuries, Patrick Mahomes got hurt yesterday. The Kansas City Chiefs, they got manhandled by the Tennessee Titans. Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Every time I saw a highlight, I didn't see the game. Every time I saw a highlight, man, it didn't look like the Kansas City Chiefs I was used to seeing. I think people now have the blueprint on how to beat Kansas City talent. I think they do. I think it's been out there, and I'm kind of curious to find out what people are thinking about right now because they're last in their division, and now Patrick Mahomes barely got a concussion protocol. Right. But I'm completely concerned if I'm a Chiefs fan. If I'm a Chiefs player, what's your take? What you think?
Well, I think that is a combination of what you said and that there's a depletion level that happens to athletes after they win. When athletes get their champion, because your whole thing, you're striving and you're hungry and you're thirsty for that chip. To me, once a team gets a chip, that separates the men from the boys. Can you still muster up that same thing that got you that before? Or are you content? And I think there's a little bit of contention over there, along with people figuring them out. You put it together, you got the perfect recipe for a win. I think it's a combination of both, Frank.
Okay. Talent, what's your take?
I'm fake.
I'm fake.
I think it's injuries, man, and the offensive line that Patrick Mahomes had and the defense that they had when they was winning is not the same team anymore. So you got different players in different positions, and I think Patrick Mahomes may be pushing a little bit because he knows on the defensive side of the ball it's not as strong, and it's they'll find it hard pressed to be able to stop anybody because we were talking about the defense last year, and then he lost his offensive players and he was running for his life in the Super Bowl. So it's really difficult, like I said, to win without playmakers. And a lot of times your playmakers, believe it or not, is your offensive line having the ability to protect your quarterback. I don't care you have any quarterback from Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, you name it, Lamar Jackson, you name any quarterback. If they don't have a decent offensive line, you're not winning very much games. Not in the NFL because these guys are monsters, man.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about this is, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but did not Kansas City overhaul their whole offensive line this season after they lost the Super Bowl? Didn't they get a whole bunch of high-priced guys and everything else? They changed their whole offensive line, and their offensive line got worse. Let's be honest. They got worse, and they went and paid top dollar for some of the offensive line they got, and the team is worse and everything else. Other than that, they got the same wide receivers minus Sammy Watkins. They got the same running back. They got basically almost the same team.
And let's not brush that off, man. Sammy Watkins is a beast.
Yeah.
You lose Sammy Watkins, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you gotta watch oh man, what's the other guy, man? You got to watch Sammy Watkins, and I can't think of his name. His name is escaping me right now. The other receiver on the Chiefs, man. When you got to watch both of them, it's like that's difficult. So losing Sammy Watkins and then these guys from the offensive line, they retired. You know what I mean? So it's a different team.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. The team, the players around him are different. It's a different team.
And let's not forget either, they got Josh Gordon too, and he doesn't seem to be the answer for that Sammy Watkins thing too. Because I didn't hear nothing about Josh Gordon yesterday. He didn't get no separation. He just didn't stand out, man. I don't even know how many catches he got, but I'm gonna look into it. I looked at some of his stats; they were not impressive in the 2 quarters I saw. I didn't check it after the game. I was like, wow. Here's the other big thing, man, and is this is crazy. And I'm gonna start with you, Talent. The Raiders are now 2-0 without Gruden, and they defeated the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles is trending the wrong way, but believe it or not, the Raiders are trending. And I would have thought, honestly, if you had asked me that to bet this, I would have definitely had thought that the Raiders were going to implode. They banded together after this John Gruden situation, and they're playing a whole lot better. And look at that. Now they're 2-0 without John Gruden as the head coach. And the Eagles now are looking horrible, where Hurts look like Jalen Hurts look like, wow, it's I don't understand what's going on with the Eagles. But talk to me. What you think about the Raiders being 2-0, Talent? What you think?
The Wizard of Oz. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Sometimes the oppressor is gone. So all them emails, all that, you big lip black man and all that, the little gay Goodens, gay and Roger Goodell, all that's gone. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Sometimes that freedom is all it takes for, first of all, people to try things. You ever notice that when you have an overseer, that micromanaging person, because that's Gruden strikes me as, you stick to the script. And there's no deviating from the script or try something. Because if this is what you do for a living, I don't care if you're a lineman or a receiver, go, you know what? What if I do this? This might, against this guy, this might work. No, do what I told you to do. Boom, boom. So when they're gone, the one thing because you're dealing with interims is that I could play a little bit. I could try some things. And who knows? We've seen times where people try something new and become a superstar. Or get a raise or get a promotion in the position. He's gone. I smell freedom over there.
Now let me ask my resident black man, Mr. Malcolm X. What they call Fig? What they call Fig? No, not you call Fig. Not Figadamas. Fig. I forgot Fig. Man, I messed that joke. That's why I'm not a comedian.
I know what you do.
Yeah, man.
What you think, Fig?
Oh, when the cat's away, the mice will play. They got rid of the oppressor, and I think football is fun now. And you know, you in Las Vegas, you get to check out a couple of shows, maybe take in a few dancing girls or whatever and stuff like that. Get a massage, and you can win some games in Las Vegas. But with John Gruden there as the overseer and the hard taskmaster, these guys they wasn't having fun and they wasn't playing loose. They were playing tight. And when you play tight, it's not a brand of winning football.
Right.
It's almost like some of the guys were talking about when no pun intended here, Frank, making a point. When they was in New England and Belichick was a hard taskmaster. He said, look, we winning, but man, it's rough, man. This dude's a hard taskmaster. It just ain't fun. And when you get away, now all of a sudden you got another Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And Gronkowski comes back out of retirement to play and to play football because it's fun. And then you got Antonio Brown that came back and they win. Sometimes that hardcore rules, stickler for the rules is just not a great brand of football.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Now, before I forget, I want to say happy birthday to Sharonda. She's one of our So happy birthday, Sharonda. Thank you for listening.
Please don't, bro.
Don't sing.
I'm hungover as we speak, messing with Sharonda.
Oh, really?
2 nights in a row, bro. Saturday, we closed Aruga's down in North Plainfield, New Jersey. And then last night at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, bro, I know it's bad when George Clooney from Casamigos called me.
No, I know it's bad when you say you're hurt because you could drink.
Yes. That girl crazy.
Yeah, when you say I'm hurting, I'm like, oh wow, like
happy birthday to Sharonda. I mean, we did it up big at the Stress Factory last night. We gave her a super duper comedy explosion. Shout out to Michael Collier was there. My man Mark Henderson from Chicago was there. Everybody put Tommy Too Smooth. Ray DeJean stopped by. It was crazy last night. Happy birthday, Sharonda.
Happy birthday, Sharonda. I wanted to be there, but these boxes wouldn't let me go.
I wanted to be there too, Sharonda, but I didn't know about it. So there it goes. Like, I ain't get the invite.
Well, you was injured. Nobody wanted to invite. We don't have. We're not wheelchair accessible.
See,
a lot of steps. The man barely sitting in the chair right now. The man back been out for 2 weeks.
Hilarious. Back been out.
His back has left the building.
All right. Y'all got jokes.
I got one question before you go to the next topic, Frank. How you get in a car accident on a scooter?
And why was you riding the back of the scooter? Is what I want to know.
All right, y'all got jokes. You know what the funny thing is y'all got funny jokes today.
Get your back up off the wall. You can do it. Get it good. Get your back up on.
All right, so let's keep the thing over because I'm always do this, man. I want to start out the next segment. I want to talk a little bit about the NBA, man. But before we jump into the NBA, I don't know if you all saw this story, man. Let me make sure I get it correctly. In the Rich Paul, remember a couple weeks ago we talked about Rich Paul having an issue with how do you pronounce this guy's name? Nerlens Noel from the Knicks, the center.
Nerlens Noel.
Okay, Nerlens Noel from the New York Knicks, right? Looks like Rich Paul on Friday filed a new court filing saying that Noel is unlawfully attempting to litigate a grievance that must be heard in arbitration. Paul also argues that Noel owes him an agency fee of 4% off that $5 million. So Rich Paul, instead of taking it laying down everything else like that, he brought it back to court and he filed and he's proving amongst a lot of NBA circles and everything else that Noel was the one in wrong. So I was like, after I thought about it and I read this story and everything else, I was like, no, kudos to Rich Paul because he's not going to take the lying down. You know what I mean? Because all the other agency people are looking at him saying, see, this is why you don't go to this dude. He doesn't have any, experience. Didn't go to law school. You know what I mean? So I was like, kudos to him. That's my take on this. Talent, tell me what you think about Rich Paul fighting back, and he possibly might even win this grievance. What's your take?
Well, I agree with you. I mean, he should fight back because here's the thing, and unfortunately, in today's society, if you're quiet, you slowly become guilty, or you're the wrong. So the fact that he's fighting back is like, I don't think I'm wrong. Like, I'm standing up for what I believe in. I did everything right, whatever came. Matter of fact, you owe me $500 grand. Give me my money. You know what I mean? So you have to stick up for yourself because, unfortunately, when you're quiet, you're presumed guilty or wrong in this country. So I'm glad he's, sticking to his guns and put a number out there. Matter of fact, give my 10%.
Right. You honestly, I think you're absolutely right with that take, man. I think that's what it's all about, man. Fig, what's your take on this, bro?
I don't know whether Noel got a case or something like that, and I don't know whether Rich Paul proved anything. I mean, it's yet to be litigated in a court of law. And the fact that he's trying to make sure that it does not go to a court of law gives me pause. Anybody that doesn't want a case to go to court gives me pause. It's like, why don't you want it to go to court? And why don't you want it to be heard by a judge? And why don't you want it to be heard by a jury? Why do you not want to go to court and you want it to be arbitrated in the NBA where we know you have a long line of allies that might side with you? I don't know. I'm not all for these brothers suing each other, though. I wish they could have worked it out. But on the other hand, I do put this in the hands of Nerlens Noel because at the end of the day, no matter what advice you got, you're still the boss.
Yeah, but Fig, let me make sure I throw this out there and people out at home who are hearing our argument understand. Rich Paul is basically the David and the Goliath story. You know what I mean? He's the guy who came from nowhere and everything else without the proper supposedly education to get an agency and everything else. He hooked up with LeBron and everything else, and now he's able to get an agency. He has players who are signing with him. So he represents AD. He started to represent a lot of people. He gives hope to the man. The underdog. To me, he gives
trying
hope
to get ahead. Listen. I'm all for Rich Paul being an agent, and I didn't like when all these guys was coming at him and stuff like that. This is very specific for me. I'm 100% behind Rich Paul being an agent and doing what it is that he did, and for them coming at him and being upset because he got something or because he's signing these top level athletes and stuff like that. I just think that's just sour. It's what is it? It's envy. Envy means is not jealousy. Jealousy is that I'm jealous that you have something that I don't have. Envy is I'm hurting because you have something, period. I hurt at the fact that you're successful. That's envy. So I'm like, yeah, that's what that's about. But I'm all for Rich Paul getting it. I'm just talking about this case specifically. You know what I mean? I don't think Nerlens Noel really has a case because, like I said, at the end of the day, your agent, your managers, they all work for you. They can be hired and they can be fired by you. And at the end of the day, Nerlens Noel made the decision. It was wrong. You made it. You lost money. It's time to move on.
Yeah, and pay Paul his money that you owe him.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah,
pay him that commission, bro. Like, stop faking that. Like, pay him this commission. All right, man. So the next thing, man, is I got to talk about is the Los Angeles Lakers because of I don't know if people realize it, but they had lost 7 straight. They lost 2 regular season games. They lost 2 regular season games, and then they ended up losing 6 in preseason games. They ended up finally getting a win last night, right? I'm sitting there looking at the highlights of the game and everything else, and I'm saying, okay, Melo played good, but what people are overlooking is I saw they had 2 incidences. LeBron had an incident with a player, and AD had an incident with Dwight Howard over the weekend. I think there's issues going on behind the scenes. Now, let's look at it like this, if they had lost last night, right? If they had lost to Memphis last night, full-blown implosion, talent, they barely won. I don't even think everything's still cool at home right now. I think they're still having issues and everything else right now. That's my take. They're not looking good to me at all. What's your take on the Lakers right now, Town?
I mean, I'm a conspiracy dude, and I think it's all a ploy, believe it or not, because LeBron to me is his basketball IQ is very high to me. Like, even if I don't think he's the greatest ever, I recognize and respect his IQ. And I think this is the possum type of ploy. I think they want to look beatable. I think because on paper, we all went the same place. Like, oh, they stacked it. They're going to be hard to beat. And, and I think that the plan is to come out and look beatable for a certain amount of time. And watch their record be kind of, it's going to keep them in the playoffs, but it ain't going to be the 1 seed and the 2 seed. They're probably going to fall something like a 5 or 6 seed on purpose, though, to look beatable, because what happens with people who look beatable, you prepare less for them. Like we just talked about overlooking somebody, they're going to slowly become their toe. Yeah, they're the Lakers. This is LeBron and them, but we can beat them. And if you believe that, you approach the game a little different, and then they're going to cut it on. Somewhere mid-season, they're going to start cutting on and beating the teams that they need to beat. I think it's a ploy, man. I'm a conspiracy dude, bro. I don't fall for this.
I don't think I agree with you on that.
I don't fall for this.
But I do think this. I think the Lakers are going to have a lot of injuries by the time, because of their age and everything else. I think injuries is going to be their thing. I think they'll be the 5, 6, 7, 8 seed because of injuries, not because of anything else. That's my take. But because that age is going to catch up to you. Especially playing ball. We all know that. We all play ball. You can't play at that high level for that length of time for 82 games, right, over a season, and then expect to be able to run through the playoffs and all that and put all those guys together. Fig, what's your take?
They beat Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
It was Memphis. They won by 3, and Carmelo Anthony went off. He was knocking down shots, back in the day when he was on the Knicks. Man, he was knocking down threes. He was getting rebounds. He just had a great game, and they won by 3 points over the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm going to give you a full Rodney. Calm down. I always thought that the Lakers would beat some of the lesser teams in the West and the East, and they would lose to some of the elite teams in the West and the East. And I believe they'll make the playoffs, and then they're going to be in a fight for their life, like everybody in the playoffs. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to last until the end, because an NBA season is a marathon, and you have to last until the end.
All right. Okay. So, in other NBA news, the team that is surprising me, even though I shouldn't be surprised, really, is actually it's 2 teams. One of them I'm talking about, and the next one I'm talking about in the next segment. One of them I'm talking about is Golden State Warriors. Man, they are red hot. Klay Thompson isn't playing yet, but they're still winning. They were able to put together some stuff, and let's not forget they blew out the Lakers game 1. Like, it was no competition for them. Yeah, and they're doing it, man. So, what's your take on Golden State being able to do what they're doing, talent without Klay Thompson, bro? They're doing it. Calm down. All right.
Not a believer. I'm not all the way on the bandwagon. I always like Golden State, but I still know they got a little ways to go. I'm like you. You just said Klay ain't playing yet. I'm waiting to see what happens when Klay comes back, because to me, Golden State is Golden State with that big 3. When you got Klay, Steph, and Draymond together, now you're looking at Golden State and what their capabilities go through the roof with that triple threat. So right now it's early. So the same thing like the Lakers, I'm not getting overexcited like, oh, we're gonna take them out of. It's early, and I think everybody. It's been so many game changes and team jumping in the offseason. We got to wait to see. So kudos to them. Congratulations, but not impressed yet.
All right. Fig, what's your take?
I gotta stay with what I said at the very beginning of the season. I thought Golden State was going to be the sleeper, and I thought that they were going to make it all the way, simply because when Steph was out and Klay was out, they were getting beat like a drum.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that struck me as very interesting, Steve Kerr and that coaching staff had them playing Golden State Warriors style of basketball. They were cutting, they were moving, they were shooting. It was the style of basketball. And over the last 2 years, those guys have matured a little bit. They sort of got their NBA legs up under them. They started knocking down shots, and they're still playing that brand of basketball. Now they got Steph Curry, but they don't have Klay Thompson yet, and they're still playing that brand, and the brand is working. They're winning with this brand of basketball. When Klay comes back, I think what happens, they take it another step further because Klay he's a monster. And here's the thing. They still have, besides Klay, they still have another 2 players that are very, very good on the offense and defensive side of the ball that have yet to play. So that's 3 key members of their team that they're missing, and they look really good.
Yeah. There's something to be said for the coaching staff that I never gave credit for. I ain't gonna lie. I always gave Steve Kerr no credit, and there's something to be said for that, man. But let's talk about Michael Jordan right now, bro, because Michael Jordan's Hornets are 3-0. Talent. They're red hot. Talent. They're beating everybody like a drum. You know what I mean? LaMelo Ball, he's doing his daggone thing, man. People might say that he might end up being MVP, front runner for MVP if he keeps up this pace, man. Surprise, Talent, what's your take?
And this too shall pass. 3 games, really? 3-0. We talking MVP. Screw the other 80 games coming up.
Yeah.
Well, they talking MVP. Settle down. This too shall pass. They'll fall, not fall, but they'll go into the zone that they belong in, and we'll see what's happening. Now, here's the thing about the East. In their defense, the East, if you notice this, in all our lifetime, it's always room for improvement. Like, you can go up and down that little spectrum of what we call, the top seeds to go to the playoffs. The East is nothing but room for improvement, for people to move up. The West is a battle every year. It's a battle. It's tough. Mm-hmm. But the East is the the yang to that yang. So it's like they got the room to be that team. I'm not talking about me number one, but they should, as they should every year, make the playoffs. They play too much shuffleboard. Like how long we got to go back to the old Charlotte to find a Charlotte team that stuck with the players over a duration of time. This new Jordan Charlotte team, Jordan got so much money. Jordan, he get an argument with a player and buy him out. Mm-hmm. He don't even let you finish your contract. Rod Strickland got bought, like 3 guards got bought out over the last decade. Like, screw you, buy him out, send him home.
Yeah.
And start over. So let's see if they stick with, the Ball family and, Melo Ball, he's doing his thing. Nothing against him. He's a top player. But let's see if he stick with it and his team go where they're supposed to rightfully be. Let's see. Yeah. It's early.
Yeah, it is early. It is early. But like I said, people are saying that. Not that I agree with it at all, because I'm with you, Talent. I don't think they should even be having these discussions about, him being an MVP right now. I don't even think you should have MVP discussions.
Hey, in the old days, Frank, Charlotte was right there.
Yeah.
In the old days.
Yeah.
Grandmama.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Vic, what's your take?
I think, look, they look like they have potential. And I think the reason that they're on our radar is because they were so horrible in previous years. And now that LaMelo Ball is there, they seem to be trending in the right direction. Here's the thing. The game that we're talking about, it really wasn't LaMelo Ball that went off. It was somebody else. Was it Monk or somebody like that went off? That went off last night. So, it looks like he's not the only one. Like back in the day, like not going back as far as talent, but when Kemba was on there, it was like Kemba and nobody else. And then now you got Ball. But here's the thing. It seems like you got more than one player that could do the damn thing. They look like they're going to be in contention. They may make the playoffs this year. It's kind of scary because, like Talent said, all of the Eastern Conference teams are moving up. You got, you're talking about Philly. You got to consider who else? Philly, New York, Brooklyn. Pause. We got to talk about Brooklyn. We got to talk about Atlanta. So. And Milwaukee, God have mercy, the defending champs, Milwaukee Bucks. So the East is looking strong. It's gonna be hard pressed to get up out of the East this year.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be hard pressed to just have a winning record in the East this year, point blank. Let's not forget how good Miami's looking right now. Miami's been doing.
Oh yeah, Miami. I forgot about Miami.
Yeah, Miami's been ripping people a new one over the weekend, and they started the season out red hot. They're doing pretty good and everything else too. Listen, the teams that are coming together that I didn't expect, the surprise. I told you guys, when I think we were having this issue about Kyle Lowry going to the Miami Heat. I think I said that back then. I said Miami's going to be real hot. I know I said that.
You did.
Yeah, I said I think they're going to be really good. But I got to say this, man, and to keep this thing moving, I'm 100% surprised what the Sixers did over the weekend. I don't know if you guys caught this, but over the weekend, Embiid gets in front of the crowd. He has this big announcement and everything else, and they are publicly, as players, they're publicly getting behind Ben Simmons, even though we all know what's going on with the Ben Simmons debacle and everything else. I don't think it's hunky-dory behind the scenes like the way they're making it look like talent. I want to ask you, after all the stuff you've seen in the last 72 hours with the Sixers acting like everything else, what's your take on this, man? Do you think that the Sixers as a team is behind Ben Simmons and trying to stay with him, or they're just trying to put on this front? What you think?
I think that in my heart of hearts, I think that everybody's over Ben. I don't think the team's really behind him per se. And he got to mend some fences, bro. But I think that I've seen it happen. It is corporate America. So they may have got that call. Sometimes you get that call, like, listen, act right, play right. And everybody goes, now you got to, we need some photo ops. We need some comments. Ben's our guy and all that stuff. Because here's the thing. Even if they plan on moving Ben as a piece before the deadline and getting somebody else, even when you're shopping somebody, you got to make it look a certain way. Mm-hmm. Everybody know that. That's corporate America all day. If he looks like a problem child, it's harder to get rid of and to get what we want for him. But if it looks like everything's all good and we just trying to make a move for the betterment of the team and we have no issue with Ben, easier to move, easier to get, and more importantly, the pieces in return that you're looking to get for him. So I don't buy it that they're all hunky-dory, but I think they're playing the game they have to play for the end result.
I think so too. Fig, what's your take on this, man? Especially what Joel Embiid did Friday when he came out with the microphone, he came in front of the whole crowd. What was your take?
I think talent hit the nail on the head. I think they're playing nice. I think if it was in reality, them being behind Ben would be with their foot up his behind, trying to kick him out. But the fact that maybe, the front office is saying, look, if we're going to get anybody halfway decent for Ben Simmons, we're going to have to treat him a little different, and we're going to have to boost his value. Yep. And then I think, look, Pelican brief. I think they're looking to probably squeeze James Harden up out of Brooklyn, because Brooklyn don't look so great right now with this whole Kyrie debacle, and they don't look as strong. And to tell you the truth, I saw a couple of the games, and Harden didn't look that interested. You know what I mean? I mean, he was there, he was playing, but he didn't look like James Harden of Houston. So I think maybe they trying to squeeze him up out of there and get him into Philly for Ben Simmons, and that would be great for both teams, I think.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. That's an interesting take. Ben Simmons for James Harden. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the money definitely works. You know what I mean? The money definitely works. Yeah.
I think what it does, it gives Philly that defender that they're looking for. They don't need him to score, but it does get him that defender. They're hurting on defense. Brooklyn is hurting on defense.
But they will need him to score because you need the guards to score. Somebody from the guard.
Well, I mean, he can score some. I mean, but you don't need him to take any outside shots. You know what I mean? Ben he's always been good at penetrating, going to the hole, and then he has plenty of people to kick to because Brooklyn is full of shooters.
All I know is this. I know Ben Simmons. I'm surprised. Listen, I'm surprised Ben Simmons is still on the team as of right this moment. I thought he was going to be traded immediately. I thought he was gone after all that talent. Tell me I'm lying. Did you not think he was gone? I thought he was going to be gone.
I thought he was gone, definitely. But again, they wasn't getting what they wanted for him. But I don't like that trade the Fig just said, because that's more beneficial to one side, not both. I think
but he
Harden's playing good right now. So why would you move him off of Brooklyn and bring in a Ben Simmons? I don't see that.
But Ben Simmons got 4 years in his contract. Harden just signed a contract, so it's got to be a large person with a large contract. Also,
Yeah, Harden didn't do the
Extension.
What is it? The extension.
Yeah, but my thing is this though.
He could,
If
though.
I'm Brooklyn, I wouldn't give up Harden. He's playing. We're seeing a good Harden right now.
Yeah, but put it to you this way. Listen, that's kind of pause.
It'll be dope. It'll be dope for Philly. Don't get me wrong.
But listen, if I'm Brooklyn and Harden doesn't sign the extension, I better get something for him now because he can get up and leave.
I don't think
Yeah,
he will.
but he will. He will.
I think the future in Brooklyn relies on so goes Kevin Durant, so goes everybody else. If Kevin's going to be there, they're going to be there.
Yeah,
They're not going to leave. It's like LeBron. Like these are we can count on one hand the guys who are most likely championship bound, and you're not leaving that guy.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving Steph Curry. I'm not leaving Kevin Durant. I'm not leaving LeBron. These are the usual suspects who are most likely. I'm not leaving the Greek Freak.
Yeah. Right now, yeah, he's entered
It's
that
a
realm.
Gatorade water boy right now. They tried to trade down to Chicago. I'm not leaving Milwaukee.
Yeah.
No, you know what? You're right, man. Listen. I don't like Brooklyn without Kyrie.
I'm with you on that.
I don't like Brooklyn without Kyrie.
All right, so let's get ready to wrap this thing up. And before we roll up out of here, I got to say that over the weekend, man, the World Series was announced. Atlanta beat the Dodgers, and I hate to say it, the Red Sox lost to Houston. So the both wild card teams are officially out. The Red Sox was the wild card in the American League, and the Dodgers was the wild card, and obviously in the West. Looks like now that it's going to be the Braves playing Houston. Houston is now talent. They have to overcome that huge, debacle of cheating. And I don't know, I want to talk about this tomorrow, or I have Ryan talk about it tomorrow. I don't know if y'all heard this bit, but people have been complaining, saying that Houston cheated again in the last series. Did you all hear that? Did you hear about
that? No, I like Atlanta for this series.
I think Houston's gonna take them, but listen, we'll see. So you got Atlanta. Fig, who you got?
Oh man, I hate to say it, man. These kids in Houston, man, they got the bats and the pitching.
Yeah,
that's kind of scary. I mean, that's baseball. You got hitters and pitching. Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
You know how I feel about Texas, so I hate to pick Houston, and I love everything that Atlanta has to offer. Except
who got the better women, though?
Yeah,
you know what? You're right. I changed it to Houston.
Yeah. This is what I think. I think if another cheating scandal comes out, boy, Houston's gonna be in some serious trouble. And they're saying right now, that there's whistling going on, and they're gonna be digging into it, man. Major League Baseball is looking into it right now when they are playing the Red Sox. So we'll see what happens, man. Because
nobody likes to cheat them.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the show, man. We gotta get ready to roll up out of here, man. Thank you all. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Hey, y'all can follow me, Talent the Comedian, on Instagram. It's just comedy on Twitter, and King Talent Harris on Facebook. Happy birthday to Sharonda Rogers, one of my Robin Hood. Sharonda been with me and my company from day one, 27 years. Happy birthday, Sharonda.
Happy birthday, Sharonda. Happy birthday. Next time, Sharonda, I better get an invite. You know what I mean? Whether I got to roll in there or walk. Fig, everybody out there, they follow you.
Happy birthday, Sharonda. You can follow me at Sharonda.com, God dog it, boy. Sharonda, hey, Talent said that she's been with him for 27 years, and it seems impossible to me because she just turned 25.
Oh, you can tell the married men, they know how to kiss ass, don't they? 25?
Follow me, Box Seats, Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. This is the best damn show on TV because we know how to kiss ass.
Yeah. And Talent, when you get married for this length of time, like me and Fig, it becomes an art, bro. So don't.
I see it. You guys are the best.
Don't hate, yeah. But there's only one ass we're kissing, and it's our wives. After that,
that's it. Hey, listen, man, you guys mastered it.
Yeah.
Hey, when you get off the air, both of you wipe your mouth.
Yeah, all right, we will. We will. Hey, y'all, we out of here, man. Tomorrow, Rodney Perry is gonna be back hosting, man. And I like the way he's doing with the show, man.
Rodney Perry's gonna be back.
I'm glad I'm not the butt. that I'm not the butt of the jokes today. We out of here, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.
Yo, hilarious.